AFI Life Achievement Award, Meryl Streep.
Hi, Nick. Did anyone notice that Ann Roth also gave her my nose for the hours? You're welcome. Reese told me the very first night we were up in Monterey, before we started shooting, she said, "You know what she does?" I said, "No, Nicole?" She goes, "Yeah. You know what she does? She goes out at 5 before dawn, and she goes skinny dipping behind the hotel in the ocean." And I looked at Nicole and I said, "Are you kidding me? The Pacific is like 48 degrees in March." "Yeah." She said, "Oh, I love it." "Oh, yeah." Right? Oh my God. Stanley Kubrick said once, he told Nicole that he thought of her as a thoroughbred. And I think that only an Englishman would think that such a vaguely eugenic, blue-blooded term would be a compliment to an Aussie, Sheila. Because to me, darling, you have a wild, mongrel talent. You're like a Mustang and a workhorse and a champion racer all in one, you know? But one whose spirit they will never break. Never. The range of your work is stunning. Your list of credits and roles and good deeds in the world would take a normal person 3 lifetimes to achieve. Your life and your resume challenge everything we know about how many hours there are in the day and how many places a woman can be at one time. So yeah, it's hard not to envy Nicole, but it's also impossible not to be in awe of her. For me, the very, very hardest part of being incessantly called the greatest actress of my generation what is the hard? Oh yeah, the hardest part. The hardest part is when you come up against, or you're acting with another person who is also really, 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 really great. That's difficult for me. But it's like, you know, somebody who you work all day with, and you go home and that was a great day, great day. You go home and you go, how did she do that? And you're like, I could do that. No, I couldn't. I don't think I could. Yes, you could. No, you couldn't do that. So. And I know this is like the American Film Institute, but really, they don't like to talk about TV, but oh my God, let's talk about Big Little Lies. My God, woman. We're going to talk about, that's the time when I really came within breathing distance of the formidable gifts Nicole has, and her process, and her seismic bank of emotion she's got locked up inside her, and her stamina, and her drive to be an artist, and her discipline. Our very first day of shooting, the very first scene, 8 a.m. Now, she's the boss of this thing. She's like the producer. She could have scheduled anything for the first day, but she picked this scene to be our first day. Usually, you get in and out of a car so everybody can get to know each other or something. But she picks a scene where, on action, she wakes up from a dead sleep into like a screaming, weeping, terrifying nightmare. And I rush in. I'm her estranged mother-in-law brought in to wreck the second season. And I hold her, and I comfort her, and I soothe her, and I calm her down, and I could feel her little heart. Oh, it was just clanging through this T-shirt. And we were both traumatized by the encounter because she was going to have to do it over and over and over again in multiple sizes. And even when we turned around, she never, ever lost the ferocity of that kind of, oh, God, it was just thumping fear. I haven't recovered from that first day. I have never seen anything like that in my life. And if anything, it deepened as the day wore on. So for me, it was traumatizing because I thought, this woman is a Valkyrie. How is she able to sustain that? Never letting up, never letting down, just letting go. I was floored, and we all were on the set. People call it bravery, when an actress bears all and leaps off into the unknown. She dives deep into the darker parts of what it is to be a human being. But I don't think it's bravery. I think it's love. I think she just loves it. And I think that's the greatest attribute an actor can have, is that blend of appetite and curiosity and recklessness. You have that, baby.